Welcome to Spire Tabletop Gaming episode 2. I'm going to review and do a playthrough of Castellion. It's a game by Shadi Torbey and published by Zeman Game, and it's the same series of games as Onirim, which I reviewed and played through in my first episode, and it's based in the Oniverse universe. And let's look at what's inside. So, like Onirim and all the other games, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. It opens up like that, and you get to the book of rules. Again, not really big book of rules, and also this game comes with kind of a tutorial mode. There are 3 different levels that you can play, and the first 2 levels are a bit kind of a tutorial way of learning the game, so you can kind of get comfortable with the different special abilities of the different characters that you can use. Like Onirim and all the other games, it comes with its own pawn. This is the menace, and there's a variant in the rules where they let you use it from one of the variants. And unlike Onirim, which is a card game, this is a tile placing game, so it comes with a ton of really nice little tiles, and the quality of the tiles is pretty good. It also comes with a set of cards. There are some reference cards, which are these ones here. Whoops. And some other cards which we are going to see how you use them in the game when we do the playthrough. Again, this is a solitaire game. All the games in this series are mainly solitaire games. There is a 2-player variant you can try, but as I mentioned before with Onirim, I bought all of these games because I mainly play them solitaire, so I haven't had a chance to play them with 2 players. So I'm gonna set up the game and then start explaining some of the basic rules, and then do the actual play through. The aim of the game is to build a castle and block and or survive the attacks from the menace avatars, which are represented on these cards. There are 3 different levels of avatars, and in a game you will need to randomly pick one from each of the levels, and then they will attack you in sequence based on some events that we're going to see during gameplay. The limitation for the castle is that the castle cannot be bigger than a 6x6 grid. And how can you say that you survived an attack? You survive an attack if you have, after the attack, if you have, let me get some tiles, if you still have a foundation for your castle, for example this. So if after an attack I still have a baseline of the castle built with 6 tiles, I can declare that I've survived the attack, so I can move on, rebuild my castle until the next avatar is going to attack. If after the first or second attack, or any attack, you don't have a foundation in your castle, for example like that, you only have 4 tiles at the bottom of your castle, that's the end of the game. So you can see that you got 2 different types of tiles. Actually, in the box you will find 3 different types. Here they are. So you get red tiles, blue tiles, and purple tiles. So the purple tiles are part of the only expansion that comes with the game. I'm not gonna explain the rules of that now, so I'll put them back in the box. And then you are left with the last two types of tiles, which are the red tiles and the blue tiles. The difference between them is the number, first of all. So blue tiles there are just a few of them. Red tiles, you can see there are kind of plenty of them. And also the other difference between the two type of tiles is that the blue ones, I call them safe tiles, because they do not contain any of the traitor's character. So you are pretty sure that if you draw a tile from the blue pile, you will draw a character that will help you build your castle. On the other hand, the red tiles, they contain characters or tiles that you can use to build your castle, but also they contain traitors, which are this type of tiles. And traitors will kind of speed up the arrival of the menace avatars, so the arrival of the attacks. You can see that the traitors have two different type of tiles, one with a black border and the other one without the black border. So the one with the black border, you cannot do much about it. If you draw it, it goes directly on the first unencountered avatar card. The one without the black border, you got the ability to discard it, but to discard it you need to also discard 4 of your placed tiles in the castle. We'll see also the specific rules when that happens during playthrough. As I said, if you get a traitor with a black border, goes on the first unencountered avatar card, and you can see that at the bottom of each of the avatar cards there's a number with the little image of the traitor. That means that as soon as you place 2 of these traitors on this card, that will trigger the attack, and in that case you will turn the card and look at the details of the attack. So on this side you will see what you need to stop the attack. On this side you actually see what happens if you don't stop the attack. In this case, to stop it, I need 2 line of defense, they're called. We're going to see the different type of formation that you can build in a minute. But if you don't have those 2 lines of defense, you will need to take away 16 tiles from your castle. And if that means that by taking away 16 tiles you lose the foundation of your castle, that's game over. So if we look at the different avatars, you will see that this one requires 2 lines of defense, and we got some others here. This one requires 2 towers, so vertically aligned tiles. And let's do this one last. This one requires 2 bastions, so a 2x2 grid formation. And the last one is this one, which you can see that is different from the other cards. It doesn't have a requirement to understand if you can stop the attack and what happens if you don't. This one is just will happen, and this one says that you will need to remove your foundation, and there's no option not to. So what you need to do, you need to make sure that you got other 6 tiles on top of your foundation, so when the foundation goes, those 6 tiles become your new foundation and is a complete foundation, so you can continue the game. Now, we've seen the menace avatars and the different attacks, we've seen the types of tiles, we've seen the traitor tiles. What we haven't looked at yet is the actual characters that you can use and that will help you create the build the castle. So those are the characters. You've got, they're called this is the pyros, the chameleons, the seers, the jugglers. We're gonna see the special abilities during gameplay. I'm not gonna explain to you all the different abilities now. We've also seen the different type of formations that you are aiming to build, and just to repeat them, you've got a tower, which is when you place 4 tiles of the same characters vertically, like that, and just 4, not 5. So if in all the formations, they need to be clearly defined. You cannot have another tile of the same with the same character on next to the formation. So this one will nullify the power of the tower, and it will not you will not consider this one a tower anymore because it's kind of a L-shaped now. This one as well, this is not a tower anymore because you got 5 tiles instead of 4, and so on. So you need to remember that when you place your tiles in your castle. The other type of formation that we've seen is the line of defense. This is a line of defense, and actually it could live there. There you go. So in this case, I've got a tower and a line of defense there. The other formation that you can build is a bastion, and that's it. So this is a bastion, which is a 2x2 grid, and that's it about formations. We're gonna see the special abilities of the formations in gameplay. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put the 2 type of tiles in some little bags. They don't come with the game, but I find it easier to draw tiles from a bag, and also it's easier to shuffle them. And then I'm gonna pick a random avatar from each of the levels. So a random one from level 1, a random one from level 2, and a random one from level 3, and then we'll start the game. Okay, we are ready to go. I've got the 3 avatar cards up here. Here I've got the 2 reference cards. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build the castle in this area. I'm gonna create discard piles on the left here, and here I've got the normal tiles and the safe tiles in 2 different bags. So, as I said, on your turn, what you need to do is you need to decide if you want to draw a normal tile or a safe tile, then draw it, and then make some other decision depending on the special abilities and what you are trying to build in your castle. So let's start with the first one. I'll go with a normal tile first. There we go. Beautiful start. A traitor. This one has not got a border around it, so I can choose to discard it. I don't need to put it on the card. I got a choice, I can discard it. And actually it's quite lucky because at the beginning you don't have any tiles. If you don't have any tiles in your castle, there's nothing to discard, but you can still discard the traitor. Because in theory I should discard 4 tiles from my castle. I don't have any there, so I just discard the traitor without discarding any tiles. So I'll put the traitor in the box because I'm not gonna use it again. So let's go with the second tile. Let's see what I get. Okay, I've got a seer. So the seer, the special ability of the seer is to, if you discard it, instead of place it in your castle, you can draw 4 tiles from any pile that you want, or a mix of the 2, and put them face up, and then decide in which sequence to play them. So I think I'm gonna do that actually. So I'm gonna discard the seer and I'm gonna pick 4 tiles from the normal pile. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So those are the tiles I drew. There's 2 pyros, a chameleon and a juggler. So what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna start placing them. I'm going to start the base of my castle. Let's see if this one is in camera. There it goes, in shot, perfect. Okay, do it here. The next one could be the pyro, and the rule for placing, which I haven't mentioned yet, is that when you're placing a tile, you should make sure that the shapes of the tiles are different for adjacent tiles. For example, in this case, if I've got you see I've got a juggler with a circle, I will not be able to place the chameleon with a circle adjacent to it, because they've got the same shape, which is the circle. So adjacent tiles needs to have different shapes, but only while placing, because we're going to see that some special abilities will ignore that rule. So for now I got the juggler, a circle juggler. I'm going to put next to it a triangle pyro, and next to the pyro I think I'm going to put the chameleon. That's it. And this other pyro here, I think I'm going to discard it without using the ability. The ability of the pyro is also this. All the abilities are described in this on this reference card. So we're just saying the seer. You can draw 4 tiles and look at them and then decide which order you want to play them. The pyro is this one here. What you can do, you can destroy a tile from your, so make you discard a tile from your castle, and then move another tile in another place within your castle. The thing is that if you choose to use the ability, you need to do both. You cannot just do the move and not the destroy of the tile. So this pyro, for the moment I'll just discard it and I'll put it here. Okay. So now I'm starting building my baseline. I just got 3 tiles for now, and maybe the plan that I'm thinking about would be to create actually I'm gonna put it here because I don't know if I'm gonna go this way or the other way, but the idea would be to maybe create a line of defense either on the left or the right, and create a tower here for the pyro, or maybe 2 towers, I don't know. Because the special ability of the tower is that as soon as you build one, you can reveal one of the avatar cards without them attacking you. So you got the ability to see what is needed to stop the attack and then try and build it before the attack comes. So the towers are pretty powerful as well. So okay, so I've done that. Now let's draw another tile. Okay, there's a chameleon with a circle. Again, I cannot place it here because it's a circle as well. So I cannot place it here to start building the tower, or here to start building either a bastion or a line of defense. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just discard it, I think. And the special ability for the chameleon is, you can see it here, is that you can decide to discard the chameleon and then replace it with one of your discarded tiles. The only thing that it needs to be of the same shape of the chameleon that you are discarding. In this case, if I decide to use the ability, I would be able to pick up the seer and then place the seer where I want, because you can see that they've got the same shape, which is the circle. But in this case I don't want to do that, I just want to discard the chameleon. Okay, so let's move them there, let's continue. Okay, we got a pyro in a circle, so I'm gonna place it up here. So let us start the tower of pyros. Oops. So this is another traitor. Now I've got tiles here, so if I decide to discard this one, I will get rid of all the tiles in my castle, or I can decide to place it on the card and hope that I don't get one with a black border or another one really soon. I'm thinking that maybe I'm gonna start again. I'll just discard it, and I discard the 4 tiles here. Maybe I'll do that. You can reduce the number of tiles that you need to discard if you want to discard the traitor, and you do that if you have a line of defense. So for each line of defense that you've got built in your castle, you need to discard 1 less tile. So for example, if I had a line of defense here built, instead of discarding 3 tiles to get rid of this, instead of discarding 4 tiles to get rid of this, I would just discard 3 tiles to get rid of this. Well, in this case, as I said, I'm going to discard this one, which means I need to discard the 3 tiles here and put them in the discard pile. Okay, so now we start again. Okay, that's a pyro. Let's put it here for now. Continue drawing. Triangle chameleon. I'm going to put it next to it. Also, there's another rule, which is that you are not allowed to break a castle. And when I'm talking, I'm getting quite annoyed because we got another traitor out. So let's discard again all of our tiles. So yeah, you cannot have a castle with the castle needs to be one piece. You cannot have 2 different pieces and then connect them with a tile. But also you shouldn't have hanging pieces, so you cannot make a piece hang in midair. I'm gonna say it in a minute, but if I'm able to build a castle and I don't get any more traitors out, there you go, there's a juggler triangle. We didn't see the special ability of the juggler. The juggler lets you can see here, if you discard it, it will let you swap 2 tiles which are orthogonally adjacent to each other, and that one can break the rule of not having 2 tiles of the same shape adjacent to each other. So there we go, let's put it there. Let's go with another one. We've got a circle chameleon. Fine, let's put it next to it here. So again, normal tiles, let's see. Okay, we got a square chameleon. I'll put it up there. And the 3 available shapes are circle, square and triangle. Oh, come on. So we've got a traitor now. In this case, instead of continuously discard cards tiles. I'm gonna place it on the avatar. So if I draw a traitor with a black border, it's game over because I don't have any formation built, first of all, but also I don't have a foundation for my castle. Let's see. Okay, I got another square chameleon. I don't have any squares in my discard pile, and this is annoying as well because I cannot place it here because I will have two squares adjacent to each other. I don't want to place it here, or maybe I do want. Maybe I create a bastion here, and then try and build the tower from the juggler. So I need to start building the foundation. Otherwise, if this one attacks, I'm out. Yeah, let's build a bastion here. Okay. A special ability of the bastion is that it reduces the, so say that you cannot stop the attack and you need to remove some tiles, it will reduce the number of tiles that you need to remove by 4. So for each bastion you reduce the number of tiles that you need to remove after an attack by 4. So if you get 2 bastions, you reduce it by 8, and so on. Okay, next, oh, look at that, I've got a circle chameleon. I'm gonna put it here, and that's my bastion build. Okay, now I really need to get this going, so just to play safe, I'm gonna draw from the save pile and see what I get. Oh, I've got a round pyro. What shall I do? So I got the bastion there, and the idea was to create a line of defense here to get up to 6, which means maybe I'll start a tower here with a pyro. Yeah. So yeah, for example, placing, I cannot place it here and then wait for another tile and put it in the middle. You should always have a unique castle built. You cannot build little pieces and then join them together. But also I wouldn't be able to place it, say, hanging off here. Not only because it's the same shape of the tile adjacent to it, but also because you cannot have hanging pieces in the castle. So yeah, let's go for that. I'm gonna put it here, and I hope that I'm gonna get other pyros or jugglers. Figure it out. Okay, cool. I got a square juggler. I'm gonna put it next to the triangle one and start building the line of defense, but more importantly build my foundation. Oh, okay, I've got a seer. I can use its special ability to see 4 tiles and then play them in the order that I want. And I think I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna get 3 from the save pile. Actually 2 from the save pile. And 2 from the normal pile. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So I've got I don't have any pyro, unfortunately, and the juggler I've got is a square, so I cannot place it here, so I cannot continue my thing here. But I've got a chameleon, so what I could do is I can swap this round chameleon for this round juggler and then place it here. And I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna discard this to exchange it with this one and place it at the bottom here. Then I can place the square juggler next to the circle juggler. There we go. So I got my foundation built now. What do I do next? I think I'm gonna exchange this triangle chameleon with a pyro so that I can place it here and start building the tower. So I'm gonna discard this one, exchange it with this one and place it here. And now, got the seer, what should I do? Shall I look at other 4 tiles or shall I place it? That's the thing, seers are quite useful. So if you start committing seers in your castle, then it's going to be difficult for you to use the ability, because if you use the ability you need to discard the seer, so you cannot finish off your formation, for example. But also need to be careful of the number of the other type of tiles discarded, because at some point it could be that I end up having a lot of seers and not a lot of the other types. But it looks like jugglers, I just got 4 out. Chameleons, I've got quite a lot of them out. I've got 5 there and 4 in place already. Whew. No, I'm gonna look at other 4 tiles there. I'll discard this one. And I'll do the same. I'll take 2 from here. Oops. Okay, and 2 from here. Alright. Not really good, is it? No, because I've got all jugglers, which I don't actually need. I need pyros, and also I've got a traitor with a black border, which means that I cannot decide to discard it. It's gonna go here on the avatar card and it will trigger the attack. What can I do? I can think about, so I can place them somewhere so that when I'm attacked I've got kind of extra tiles to discard that which not ruin any of the already built formations. But I don't know what's underneath there. If it's the one that gets rid of the foundation, it's gonna be game over anyway. But if it's not, I'm gonna reduce the amount of tiles that I need to remove by 4 because I got a bastion. But that's about it. I believe the first level they force you to remove 16 tiles, so I will need to remove, instead of 16, only 12. And I go 4, 8, 10, and I'm gonna go to 13, so I think I'm dead anyway. So I'm gonna place it there, which means we are gonna encounter the first attack. There you go. So to block this one I should have 2 towers. I have none at the moment, so those are the ones that I drew, which means that I will need to remove 16 tiles, reduced by 4 because I've got a bastion here, so 12 tiles. I've got 10 here, they all go, there's no more foundation and it's game over. So there we go. And it's now game over, because at the end of the attack I do not have a complete foundation. That was extremely unlucky and annoying, but that's how the game went. I think I went over all the rules. Well, maybe we haven't seen them in action, but I explained them. Also, as I said, the rules are not that difficult, and the quick reference card is pretty good at remind you of what the rules are. That's it from me, and I will see you in episode 3.